there, it's Danny here from our humble home, and in today's video it is about my brown wicker that I painted white. It's been 2 years almost to the day since I painted it, and I'm going to quickly review how I painted it for those who haven't seen, and then show you what I do to maintain it and what it looks like today. So here I'm just putting the grip lock primer onto it, and you can see here that even as I do this, that it's looking so much better than it was. I was actually trying to remember why I didn't use the paint primer, the tile paint primer instead of the grip lock primer, and I think it was because the paint primer that I put on the tiles was actually more tinted like a yellowy sort of color. It's more like an off-white, and the grip lock primer was pure white, so it's covering it quite well. So I thought at this point, you know, it's going to be a success. This was a 5-piece modular outdoor wicker lounge. It did take a while to do. Before I started priming though, I cleaned it, and even though I cleaned it throughout the process, I did go over it and have a look, because you know, the very nature of wicker, things got stuck in all little nooks and crannies, and I had to make sure they were all removed before I continued to paint. I'm using White Knight brand tile paint, and the idea I had was we recently painted, well back then, our bathroom and our kitchen backsplash, and I would always look at it and think how well it stayed on, how well it stuck to the shiny tile, that it never discolored. And I thought, I wonder if I could paint my smooth plastic wicker in this as well, and if it would be just as good. And so that's the reason I did it. After I had done 1 coat of primer, actually on some pieces I did 2, then I used the White Knight tile and laminate paint to paint over the primer on each piece, and I did 2 coats. I painted the base there. You can see where the cushion goes. I sort of was in 2 minds whether to do that or not, because the cushion was going to cover it, and I thought I could, you know, it would save a lot if I didn't. I ended up doing 1 coat there, so I did save a little bit of paint. But it took me probably about 3 weeks to do, and that's not 3 weeks day in day out, that's missing a week, missing days, that sort of thing. But yeah, I was very, very pleased with the way it came up. So this was 2 years ago, so that was the before, and this was the after 2 years ago. A lot of work, but well worth it in the end. So fast forward to today, 2 years later, and full disclosure here, I just grabbed my camera and I didn't even bother neatening up the couch at all. I should have, but I just sort of thought I want to film this before I start cleaning it. So that's why it looks so bad. It's normally a lot neater than this, but I just want to show you what it's like today. And you can see that there are a few little bits of paint missing, but that's okay. The cushions also are very grubby, because we live on this couch outside. It is used every day for us. We sit on it, we make use of it, we eat on it, we can sleep on it at times of the day, have a snooze. The dogs will get on it and jump on it, the cats will crawl on it, lie on it and claw on it, and even the other day at Christmas time, a snake found it quite nice and decided to have a sleep under it, which I thought it was dead, but it wasn't. And it gave me a bit of a fright. So this couch is very well used. It is not a trophy sitting in a corner, so just keep that in mind too when you consider how the paint is worn and how the whole thing is worn after 2 years. So the first thing I do when I clean it is to remove the cushion covers, and I'll wash them. I made these covers, and I'll put a link to that video up. Very easy, and they were made out of drop cloth fabric. And I'll wash them. They did really need a bleach, but because we have an EnviroCycle, I can't bleach in the washing machine, and it's a bit of a rigmarole, so I just wash them, but it always brings them up nice and clean and fresh. So now I'm cleaning it. Normally I don't hose it down like this. I decided to though, because I thought I'll get into all the nooks and crannies. I won't be doing it again because I had the nozzle on far too high, and in some places it chipped off a little bit of paint, and I thought, you idiot Danny, what are you doing? Of course it's going to do that. But I thought it would be good to get all the dirt out of it. Another reason I won't be doing it again is because it actually didn't. Like the next day when it dried, I noticed that there was still dirt residue there. And I think it's a bit like, you know, when you leave your car out in the rain, you think, oh great, the rain will wash it. But the next day you come out and there's all dirt globs still on it. Sort of a similar situation, I think, here. It just didn't wash everything off. But it was good to hose underneath because that gathers a lot of dust and leaves and that sort of thing, so that was good. I really needed to do that. Sophie made this. She saw it on TikTok.
Thank you.
So it's the next day, it's dry, and I'm just going over it to see what and actually where I have to apply some more paint to sort of fix it up. Anything that's missing, where the cushions go, I don't bother about. It's not going to be seen, but there are areas that can be seen, and so I will go over that with a paint and a little paintbrush, and I'm just rubbing my hand along there because like I said before, it did leave a bit of a dirty residue there on the top, and I thought, well, that was a bit of a waste, but still I go over that a bit later. So I'm using my Renew tile and laminate paint. This is what was actually left over from when I did paint it in the beginning, so I'm just going to be using that. I'm going to be getting a little artist brush, and I'm just going to be painting over the little pieces that have come off. And it really is that simple. There are certain places it tends to come off more, probably on corners, on the top of the armrest, because we put cups, we put lots of things up there. We rest our elbows, the cats sit up there, the dogs might jump up there. Also down at the base where feet can maybe sort of rest and kick at it as well. Underneath there where the cushions go, but I don't really worry about that too much. Probably been a year since I've done this. I did it once or twice in the first year, I think twice, and it's probably been about a year since I've done this, so all in all it's holding up really well. I just do one coat and sort of do it quite thick and then just let it dry. All in all, it probably took about 15 minutes, I would say. It didn't take long at all. And these areas here, there, and sort of at the side, I think, is actually where the cats might have jumped up and clawed at it, which is really annoying, but what can you do? With any piece of painted furniture, you're going to get chip marks, you're going to get paint coming off. I mean, it's just what to expect. And, you know, with any piece of furniture you buy anywhere, you're going to get wear and tear and damage. So all in all, I'm really pleased with how this is holding up. So I used this eraser pad just to, when the paint had dried, to go over just the arms. I didn't go over the whole lot, and just wiped off the excess residue that was left from when I hosed it down. Yeah, there was quite a little bit there, which surprised me, but like I said, I'm not going to hose it again. It's just a bit too harsh, and I'll just wipe over it. In the past, I've just wiped over it and it's been fine. And I'm just replacing the cushion covers. They're all nice and dry and clean and fresh. Those blue floral covers too, I made a few years ago as well. Well, it would be about 3 years ago now if I made the other ones 2 years ago. But I made those, like I think the pattern was about 5 pieces I sewed together, and I thought there has to be an easier way of making cushion covers. So these calico looking ones, the drop sheet ones, were only 1 piece pattern. And you sew up the sides, you put the zip in, and that's it. Very cheap and really, really easy. These placemats I bought from Kmart. They were $3.50 each, and I had an idea to do something with them. I'm going to make a cushion out of them, and originally I was going to use just one side for the cushion and then make 2 cushions, but I'm going to use both pieces just to make 1 cushion, and I'm going to put a decal on as well. With the decal, this was a bit of a trial and error, because put these heat transfer decals on fabric, of course, and I've actually put it on wood as well, and it's been good, but this is such a rough material that I just didn't know how it was going to turn out, and I did have to press down for a long time on and off and then try to peel it back. In the end, it peeled back fine, and then stupid me stuck the plastic on it again, and I overheated it, and when I peeled it off, it sort of peeled back the R there. It was perfect the first time, but anyway, what can you do? I've learnt my lesson. And then I sewed the 2 long ends, and I glued down the other ends at the side, and I might do another video on how I did this in more depth, but yeah, it turned out really cute. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you liked to see my white wicker 2 years down the track. I'll come back in another year and let you know how it's worn, but I'm so pleased. I'm pleased with the cushion covers, I'm pleased with the paint job, I'm pleased with how it's worn. Like I said, anything painted, you are going to get chips, you are going to get bits coming off, marks, that sort of thing. So, it's just to be expected. And this couch we live on it pretty much, so it's not used. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've tried doing this yourself, comment down below and let me know how it's gone. I'll see you all next week. Have a great week, and bye for now.
I was driving from my partner's house and I saw this cute little It's like a nappy changer. You put your baby on.
Change tape.
That one. And you can like store things under it. And I thought it would be cute for mom to do like a little project on it.